And we're back.
Is what I said before. It took 34 days before I even uploaded this video. Yeah. We'll talk about that later though.
What's Gucci? I can't really call these car talks anymore. You know, the show that isn't a show, but it makes for a great intro because I'm not sitting in the car. You know, I'm still in here house sitting. Just gonna update on that before I get into the topic. It's been a very abrupt change because if you're new here because of the whole Elon thing I won't be talking about, I was living in the car for 2 years and I would talk about that on this channel, but because of like family situation, I'm helping them out and I'm basically not living in a car very abruptly, and because of that, it is very hard to sleep. I passed out in the car yesterday after taking a trip somewhere and I slept like a baby. Meanwhile, since I've been here, I've been tossing and turning and everything else. Also, in the other video, I said, you know, I was gonna give the cat a bath, and well, just a little update on that.
It's actually not that hard to give a cat a bath. She's kind of upset, but you know, just a little bit of water. You know, I'm keeping it light. I don't want to make it a traumatic experience. And she's done. She's a little upset with me, but I'm gonna show you something. I didn't even clip her nails. Not a single scratch on me. And now look at her. A little upset with me because she's wet, but like I said, not a single scratch with me. Obviously, I didn't record the whole thing because that's not what this video is about. This is just a small little update from the previous video. And I needed both hands while I did it.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The hardest part about that was the blow dryer. I don't know the last time she's been groomed. I know the last time she's gotten a blow dryer is when I did it, and that was like 2.5 years ago. But yeah, she's over there, right behind the camera. It's not that hard, people. But anyways, we're going to get into the topic. So, the price of eggs. So with the whole living in the car situation I'll be doing, obviously, like, I haven't been buying groceries, you know. I talked about my setup, which was very raw, you know, just me for the longest part, just laying down, going to sleep, having, you know, my spare clothes in the trunk and bags and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't have like a fancy setup, so there wasn't any, you know, portable generators and using like hot plates and other stuff. No, if I want to eat food, it's mainly I have to go to my favorite shop, right, or go to a halal spot that I like, or, you know, go to a burrito spot. You know, I didn't really do Wendy's or anything else, or I'm not big into fast food. I know my physique doesn't show it, but that's because, once again, I like sweets. It's a problem. But I wasn't really eating, you know, cooking my own food. So while I was privy of the situation that's been going on with groceries and whatnot, and I even documented that on the one video when I got the flu, when I saw grocery prices had changed.
Now I see what everybody's bitching about. These prices are ridiculous. So I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna give me some honey, you know, a spoonful of honey. Help with an irritated throat. But Jesus. Look at this. Obviously, it's a bigger thing, but $12? Hell no.
I obviously wasn't buying groceries, so while even though it was on my radar, it was like not close in my radar. The most I've really heard about it, besides the news, is like friends talking about grocery prices and things going up. But recently, I went to Costco because I have a Costco membership, and I saw this. And with that, that made me go, huh, this is kind of like still going on. This is still ongoing, which is, you know, funny in a ironic way, not a ha-ha funny way, because this is only 2 months into the Donald Trump presidency. And Costco is limiting eggs, limiting the supply of eggs that you can buy. And the last time I personally remember things being like that was like during COVID, you know, there was a limit on toilet paper and other stuff, and people just buying up groceries super fast. So because of these tariffs and the, you know, just the price of everything going up and people like kind of panic buying, instead of your eggs going down, the supply that you can buy is just being limited. But at least Donald Trump was able to do a goddamn ad read for Elon Musk.
I love Tesla.
I don't bring these things up because I want to be like the next MSNBC or Sam Cedar or whoever big political commentator that's on this platform or whatnot. Like, I speak on politics in my real life, and I try not to speak on, I don't really want to speak on it that much. And, you know, here doing this, like, I want politics to be adjacent to what I talk about, you know, always within the Venn diagram, but I don't want it to be the center. But as I said in the previous house talk, whatever these are now, you can't ignore these things. It's It's problematic. Like, to me, it bothers me. It bothers me seeing, the continuing struggle while somebody who has so much money, all the money in the world, has the president that he bought and paid for doing a fucking ad read, a Tesla ad read at the White House. At in no way, shape, or form is that acceptable. That is something that should have been talked about. That should be talked about every single day. The president did a Tesla ad read. The president did a Tesla ad read. The president did a Tesla ad read. I will say it again. The president of the United States, the commander in chief, did a fucking Tesla ad read while eggs are being limited at Costco. I have other things that I've seen in my travels, like even recently, right before I started helping out here, and I'm saving that for a bigger video, which is more like car oriented and travels and stuff. So I don't, like I said, I don't want to get redundant, so I'm saving that stuff off. But in my travels, I've seen other, places like mom and pop stores with signs up talking about how, supplies are reduced, or due to, the circumstances, they have to charge even more, like more than they were charging than the year before, which is why I don't know if it's happening for other people, but a lot of local mom and pops, they'll have up signs explaining how, like, if you use cash, it's like a reduction in price because of, the credit card companies charging more, that it's a trickle down, and they themselves have to charge more. So they're like encourage people to use cash, but that's like doubled since the last 2 years, the last year and a half, and at least in my perspective for like certain places. Like, I want to keep reiterating this so it could really get into like on how just nonsensical that is with everything happening. Like, I like to, like, with other people, compare everything that's happening to the movie Idiocracy, because Judd Apatow basically wrote a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I'm pretty sure he did not mean for that to happen. But even though it's funny, like it really is, it's stupid. Are we serious? It's the land of the free, the home of the brave. Give me your tired, your poor, USA, rah, 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 American flag, bald eagle, woo. This is what the country is actually doing. And if you step outside all that, nationalism propaganda, what really like even made me want to talk about this today is a post that somebody I know, who I keep on my friends list, even though he's like a single issue, borderline boogaloo boy, but he's black. And I'm like, what are you doing? But because he like guns so much, he's big 2A. And mind you, I go to the range, I have a gun range membership and everything else. But I recognize guns for what they are. They're tools. But since he's like so so fancy, so damn, what's the word I'm looking for? He likes guns a lot. Since he likes guns a lot, he's kind of become obsessive over them, and then went down that 2A rabbit hole. And then you have groups like the Proud Boys and conservatism and everything else, and it's like it's looking bad. But he shared a post where somebody else that he's associated with, that some people I know are associated with, but I myself will never fuck with, was basically lambasting liberals. Mind you, this man's Hispanic, but lambasting liberals for, burning down like Tesla dealerships and everything else, and going like, you guys loved EV when he was one of y'all, but now he's on our side. You don't care about him anymore. You're showing your true colors. And I saw that, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, think of all the stuff I just brought up, right? What's happening? The president of the United States of America did an ad read for the man who spent $300 million on his fucking campaign, basically bought him, and is now an unelected official doing a bunch of fucking cuts. That is, federal workers are losing jobs, including veterans, and America loves veterans until it's time to treat them. And with all that happening, this person and other people like him share that sentiment, is lambasting liberals for burning down Tesla dealerships and is upset at them because Elon's now on their side. Nowhere in that post did he ever talk about what Elon's doing, right? Nowhere did he go like, man, oh, this is wrong or not. No, he just cared about the tribalism. He just cared about, we got him on our side, he's in our in group, but this person himself doesn't make more than like $50,000 a year, lives in the same community everybody else lives in, which is on the lower socioeconomic scale. Hell, even me sitting here helping house sit, this is a studio apartment. It's very small, right? I make the most money on my family, and I'm just chilling in my car. Like let's put all that in perspective. This isn't a rich area at all. It's not even, you can't even say a middle class area. This is working class, and people work for every single dollar. And this person who is working class, who's not going to get any of the benefits of the cuts, is not getting the tax cuts. His taxes are going to go up. If he ever falls into a dire medical situation, even though we live in New Jersey, we could get hurt by, everything that's going on. And he's going to be part of the, well, actually, I'm not going to say he's going to, he already is paying the price because he has to buy groceries like everybody else. But because he's so enthralled, he's, basically, a tribal zealot in a way, all that doesn't matter. That's insane when you truly think about it. Like that's insanity. They don't like you. They don't care about you. Your cost of living is going up. And yet you think they're on your side because you have embedded yourself deeply into a political side, where the president of the United States did a ad read for the car company of the guy that gave him $300 million to get him elected. Just let that sink in. Like, truly let it sink in. Even the cries of domestic terrorism, because people are like attacking Tesla cars and dealerships, but not people. Like, don't attack the people. But people are vandalizing Tesla dealerships. And any act of vandalism, they're saying is domestic terrorism. Isn't that wild? Like, especially when you think about it, because the United States of America, one thing they love to tell us is the history of Boston Tea Party, Paul Revere, no taxation without representation. Isn't that the American dream right there? Isn't that the blood of America? Fighting back when you're not being represented. And sometimes that includes property. Hell, at least it's not people, because tar and feathering was not a fun experience. But I guess it's different when they were doing it because they were like the merchant class. In fact, that guy that does Civil War stuff, Attention, however you say his name, he actually just did a video on that, which was funny because I like talking about that topic a lot. And I was like, oh, and I learned something from that. But that's neither here nor there. Like, isn't that just funny though? The people want to live the American, the true American spirit. Now it's domestic terrorism because you're doing it to a person who gave $300 million to the president of the United States who did an ad read for his company at the fucking White House. That's all I gotta say for this one. Like, these are off the top, so the video I have coming up that's being written, that's going to be more in depth, but something to think about. It's just nuts. Anyways, as always, deuces, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out of here.